from Pyotr in the score!
Huge moment.
Jordan Staal, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Husso has been very good. He just made a massive mistake. Two of them, actually. It was going to be icing. He went out to play the puck and nullified icing and then couldn't get back to the front of the net.
Welcome to the Canes Corner podcast. I am Adam Gold, and the Carolina Hurricanes have won 2 in a row. Lou Brown told us if you win 3, that's a winning streak. But the Hurricanes right now have won 2 straight. Very exciting 2-1 win over the Detroit Red Wings. And I think it will be interesting as we're going to do this. We're going to contrast Tuesday and Thursday, and we'll discuss some other things about tonight's win as well. We're brought to you by the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. If it's for the exterior of your home, you can find it at the Aluminum Company of North Carolina on Hamlin Road in Durham. No place like it. Sammy Hanna's crew do a great job. You should check them out. Unless, of course, you live in Adelaide, in which case you're going to have to call the Adelaide Aluminum Company or the Aluminum Company of Adelaide or Queensland. Are you in Queensland? Mikhailov, you're going to have to tell me where you are. Anyway, thank you very much for spending some time. I hope it's a beautiful afternoon. It should be in the Southern Hemisphere. It's not 29 degrees as it is where I am right now. Hurricanes win at 2-1. Real quick before we get into the game, I want to contrast what we saw Tuesday and what we saw tonight. Both wins, 1-4-1, 1-2-1. Carolina played significantly better tonight than they did Tuesday by a factor of 5. They dominated the game tonight. Tuesday, I thought, was an evenly played game. I just think that the Hurricanes happened to finish more chances, which is great. We like finishing chances, right? But I thought that was the difference. Tonight, Carolina created way more opportunities, just didn't finish them. Case in point, my third star of the game, Seth Jarvis. Over the course of this night, he took 11 shots. 7 of them were on target. He had 8 scoring chances, 6 grade A's. No goals. He was great tonight, just didn't score. Jordan Staal, my first star of the game, was great tonight. Did score. Great goal. Oh, what a shot. What an absolute BB. Jordan Staal rifled past Ville Husso. Man, is hockey stupid sometimes. Pyotr Kotchetkov was good tonight. Pyotr Kotchetkov was significantly better Tuesday night than he was tonight. What didn't Kotchetkov allow on Tuesday? A bad goal. What did he allow tonight? A bad goal. Cost Carolina some momentum. In a way, they got it back when he gave the puck away. I actually thought Carolina started to tip the game back in their favor after he gave the puck to Patrick Kane, right out in front, and then scrambled back to make a save. And he was probably fortunate there. But again, the hustle and the athleticism to get in position to make a save was important. So Kotchetkov was, I thought, good tonight. Significantly better on Tuesday than he was tonight. But he did make some very good saves. I thought the saves he made early on Kane and Veleno were probably, I don't know if they were his best saves, because I think he made some very good saves tonight. But when it's a 0-0 hockey game and you're trying to build something to be able to keep it 0-0 early, because that was a very early chance, and Kotchetkov lost his stick in that sequence. I thought that was the sequence of the game for him. And again, I thought he was a little bit lucky, and there was a time in the first period, it was first period, and it was Jeff Petrie had the puck right where Michael Rasmussen would later score. And Kotchetkov was a little small and wasn't quite all the way flush to the post. And Petrie took a chance. and he hit it square off the post. It was high off the post, too. And I thought at that point, and I put this on Twitter, that Petrie sensed some room, took a chance, hit the pipe square. I didn't like the fact that Kotchetkov was small. He was down low, and he was deep in his net. And I thought that could be a problem. And it was on the Rasmussen goal. But after that and the recovery on the Kane try, I thought Pyotr was mostly very good the rest of the way. So I'm not knocking any time Carolina's goalies only give up one goal in a game. So last two games, I think, what was it, 25 saves tonight, 31 saves yesterday. So back-to-back games where Kotchetkov just allows one goal. So maybe he's starting to build a little confidence, even if I didn't think today was great. Clearly, Tuesday was. So if he can build some confidence and play with that, and I'd like to see, a little bit more swagger and emotion out of him, I think he might need it. If that can happen, Carolina's goaltending will at least look a little bit better. I still have my doubts as to whether or not this goaltending is good enough really to even get you to the playoffs, to be perfectly honest. I'm not sold yet. I'm going to need more than 2 games. And I'm not like Rod Brindamore doesn't judge the team game based on how many goals they score. I'm not going to judge completely the game based on how many goals Kotchetkov gave up. I thought Carolina as a team was great tonight. But again, it's a weird road trip. It's over. But real quick, Winnipeg played great, lost 2-1, just didn't win. Edmonton, trash heap, just don't even talk about it. Calgary, 10, 12 great minutes, lead 2-0. Game kind of goes away. Third period, Kotchetkov allows 2 bad goals. You end up losing the game. Your defensive cover wasn't all him. He didn't have to allow those 2 goals. And they weren't, but the second one wasn't, I actually think they were both bad. Sorry. But there were also breakdowns. The third one was a shorthanded goal. Vancouver played well. I thought Carolina played very well, especially in the third period. Just couldn't get the second goal to draw even again. And Antti Ranta allowed the 1 bad goal, which, I mean, in a league where you're basically living on the margins anyway, if you allow a bad goal and win, you got lucky. I mean, that's why. Carolina kind of got lucky tonight, even though they were significantly the better team because they only scored 2. And the second goal was a gift. And I would argue the first one was a mistake by Detroit as much as anything, because you can't have 2 defensemen in the way and have that pass get all the way through to Drury on the back door. It was a great pass, but I think the top defenseman there was Mo Seider. Put your stick on the ice, bruh. How do you say bruh in, was he in German? Is he German or Swedish? How do you say bruh? Whatever. That's why you come to the podcast, for stuff. I almost cursed. I don't want to curse on a podcast, even though I can. But that's why you come here, for stuff like that. Yeah, but that's so you go through the road trip, and these 2 wins almost like, yeah, man, it could have been just with a break here or there. You might have gone 3-3. And then you don't feel so bad about it. 2-4 doesn't look good, but they started playing better. They played well in Vancouver, didn't win. Played really well in Winnipeg, didn't win. So, and they got great goaltending, and they won the special teams battle, and the Stars were great in Ottawa. But tonight it was 18 skaters dominated Detroit, and that's cool. All right, so real quick to the goals. Tell you what, let me just pull this up. Let me see if we have anything interesting here in the comments. Cutting it close. Shots that Kotchetkov stopped. Apart from the goal, Kotchetkov was on fire tonight. I'll disagree. I think Kotchetkov was fine tonight. I don't want to look at the stats and go Kotchetkov was great tonight. because I don't think he was great tonight. I think he got lucky a little bit tonight. I think the DeBrincat try on the power play in the third period was like we see it with Carolina all the time. Carolina sometimes makes the other goalie look good by hitting him with the puck. There was some of that tonight. And I think DeBrincat hit Kotchetkov with the puck. You get credit for being in the way. I'm not taking credit away from Kotchetkov, but I wouldn't call that a great save. He was in position where he was supposed to be because he's a pro. Patrick Kane probably will score that goal, 8 out of 10 times. That after Kotchetkov gave him the puck. Jeff Petrie beat him, but didn't beat the post in the first period, which would have been a bad goal, which is why I was a little worried about Kotchetkov early. Still sensed he was a little bit deep at times, a little bit small at times, but not great. But his team in front of him was. And that's really the Hurricanes that we want. Now, the benefit of Kotchetkov only giving up the one goal and making some good saves late. I don't want to diminish that at all. I don't want to make it sound like I think he was trash because he wasn't. He was good. I just don't think he was great. He didn't have to be. But the benefit to this is what we saw from Kotchetkov for 15 games from Veterans Day to December 20th last year. And frankly, we're closing in on the 20th, right? It was staggeringly good. And he was obviously a confident goaltender then. And if he can get back to being confident, I think he'll play better. And again, I'm not sure that he doesn't need a little fire, a little bit of chaos around him. Maybe, in a way, maybe he can be a better version of Peter Mrazek. Wouldn't that be good? I think we all liked Peter, especially when he was on. Peter didn't lack for confidence at all. I loved Peter when he was on. And if Kotchetkov can be a little bit better version of Peter Mrazek, I don't think anybody would be upset about that. Shay, do the Canes still need a goalie? Yes. I don't have to say it. Do I have to say it any differently? Michaela says he's the Adelaide Caniac. Of course you are. Jarvis was awesome tonight. I don't know why I just threw that in randomly. All right, let's go through the goals. Let me answer one more question. Do we stick with 11-7 long term? No, we will not stick with 11-7 long term, Doug. But, and I was going to get to this today anyway. I think 11-7 worked for the last two games. I don't think Rod wants to do it, and I wouldn't be surprised if they went back to 12-6. Maybe not tomorrow because they've won 2 in a row, and Rod may just stay with it until they lose a game. But I thought Tony played reasonably well tonight. Didn't play a lot, played 10 minutes. I thought he played reasonably well when he was on the ice, made a couple of good defensive plays. And I just trust him more with power play, with a minute of power play time each time. He's elite at walking the blue line. And as we talked to Tripp before the game, and I even talked about this with Rod. I actually don't think I used it in our pregame conversation. Tony at the blue line creates space. He is that good. So there is a benefit to having Tony DeAngelo in the lineup. Now, on the other side of that is we saw tonight why Jalen Chatfield plays. Because there was a breakdown, and it looked like we were going to see a breakaway coming down the right-hand side, and Chatfield goes from the left, rather down the right wing for Detroit, but obviously left side of the ice for Carolina. And Chatfield came from the defensive right side all the way across and basically made any scoring chance non-threatening. And that's what he provides. And I think there's offensive upside. I thought Jalen Chatfield was excellent tonight. But again, I think Carolina had 18 really good skaters on the ice tonight. All right, let's get to the first goal. Carolina's power play expires. I thought the power play was okay. I think Carolina had 3 power plays. The last one was just awful. They treated it like an even strength chance, which I'm not crazy about that. I know it's 2-1. You don't want to make the mistake. And right now, Carolina has made too many mistakes on the power play. But I still think you have to run the power play because ultimately what they did was just try to kill 2 minutes. And the last, it seemed, 30 seconds were played in Carolina's end. That means you cannot do that. To me, that was a mistake. And Rod Brindamore can't call any live action timeouts like basketball. What a stupid rule that is, that you can do that in basketball. So after the first power play expires, Carolina's they actually got better. They were better right after the power play expired than they were on it. And they weren't terrible on it, just wasn't great. And Burns keeps the puck in. Necas kind of gathers it in the middle of the ice, gives it over to Nason, who puts a pass right through to Detroit defenseman and right to Jack Drury on the back door. Drury had the easiest job. Burns, Necas, and Nason did the heavy lifting there. And for Jack, it's his 4th goal of the season, 4th straight game with a point. He continues to play well. And the more the better he plays and the more comfortable he gets, the more Rod Brindamore, who trusts him, obviously, the more Rod will give him opportunity. I actually thought Jesperi Kotkaniemi played well tonight. He had plenty of scoring chances too, but didn't convert. But if Kotkaniemi doesn't start producing something, I can see Jack Drury getting an opportunity skating in more of a scoring line, although when everybody's healthy, that 4th line should be a scoring line, and I guess it was tonight, right? At least whatever was constructed as the 4th line, considering it was right after the power play, and Steph Nason really played with Aho and Jarvis, and Necas was playing with Kotkaniemi and Teravainen, but that second power play unit was on the ice. Anyway, good goal, really well worked by everybody, and Jack Drury gets the glory. The Staal goal was typical, goofball goal, really created by the other netminder. But Carolina playing it the right way. So you get pucks in deep. Would have been an icing. Husso came out to play it. Misplayed it 3 times. Staal was there first, poked it in. That was 2-1 after the Rasmussen goal. So, hey, Jordan Staal has had plenty of opportunities that didn't result in goals. I think we can all be thrilled for him. Merry Christmas. I said the same thing on Twitter. And then I found out that Shane Willis, who was in the booth with Mike and Tripp, also said Merry Christmas from Ville Husso. I wonder if Staal got him a gift. I don't think so. That pretty much sums up all of what we saw tonight. But if you're looking for signs that the Hurricanes are back, tonight is more the sign. That's their game. I mean, I feel like if they play that way again, they'll score more than twice. They have to figure that out. And I do believe that Seth Jarvis is spending too much time with Sebastian Aho. You can't. I mean, how do you miss the net on breakaways? Come on, Seth. Don't do that. Seabass does that. Just aim at the 5-hole, it works all the time. But again, tonight's the night. This is the type of game where you go, yep, Carolina looked back tonight because that was their game. Heavy forecheck, all sorts of puck possession, and forget about the, shots. Carolina didn't really pepper the net with a ton of shots. It was not the shooting gallery that it can be for them. 60 was, let's see, it ended up being 78 in all situations. Normally they would get up into around 90. But I thought for the most part, Carolina they had the puck a lot, but I didn't think they just took silly shots. They had a lot of really good looks at the net. 15 high danger scoring chances, only generated 2 goals. Carolina could have scored. The XG on natural stat trick was 3.25, but frankly, it should have been more. I don't know how it's only 3.25. Maybe they know who was shooting. Maybe Jesper Foss didn't get credit for that goal he didn't score. But again, this is what Carolina Hurricanes hockey is. I loved Tuesday for what it meant. It meant that Kotchetkov could play. It meant that the power play could work. It meant that you could win a game based on your stars coming through when you needed it, even though you weren't really better than the other team. But this one tonight was more vintage Hurricanes. And so we'll see how, if they can kind of push the two together. And when you push those two things together, when you get good goaltending, and they got good goaltending tonight. When you get that, and you get your stars cranked up, and you play the way they played tonight, that's the combination for Carolina, which makes them Stanley Cup favorites. So, hey, we're, 29 games into the season? Maybe it'll take them 35 to 40 games to really get in the groove. But more so than any, maybe the Winnipeg game tonight, to me, was the best sign that Hurricanes hockey is going to look like Hurricanes hockey again. All right, with that said, it's time to go to bed. I am Adam Gold. This has been the Canes Corner Podcast. We are brought to you by the Aluminum Company of North Carolina on Hamlin Road in Durham. Sammy Hanna and his crew are amazing. Windows, siding, roofing, entry doors, storm doors, gutter helmets, awnings, railings, carports. Every time I see them, I ask them something else, and they do something else that they don't. They have decking. Wow. Aluminumcompany.com. You should check it out. With that said, we'll see everybody tomorrow night. Seems like tomorrow, Canes and the Nashville Predators going for 3 straight. Until, bye.